We are.
We are. Let me get the chat fired up on my end over here, folks.
Yep, I'm doing the same.
Got to do that. Got to get the chat going. It always takes a minute or two for people to jump in anyway.
It does. We're running behind.
Yeah, because my
Apologies,
internet and
gang. We
everything
got.
else is freaking stupid.
Oh, hold on.
Oh my god, ACR is already in our chat.
Look at that.
That's for the replay crew, by the way.
There we go. And had to turn the volume down on my phone because I'm an idiot. Forgot to do that. See if anyone joins us here. Again, apologies for being Robert Ham.
Robert Ham, brother.
Good evening,
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you for joining us. Had some technical issues on my end. Go figure.
Right.
But I got it fixed. So we're up and running.
Working great now. Working
off
great.
like a bull with gas.
Ah. Excellent. 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 Oh, that is tasty. Good evening, Cajun. Welcome, sir. Howdy. Howdy, howdy.
We actually have a topic, a deep topic episode for tonight.
Yep.
So be glad you're here.
Oh my goodness, who we got? We got Randall Munson. Good evening.
Randall,
Mac.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mac. Welcome, sir.
Thank you for joining us. We're running behind. 15 minutes due to some
technical issues.
Yeah.
Y'all know. Y'all seen enough of these.
Good
Mac,
evening.
I gotta say, I love your elevator, man. I love that elevator. That is so cool. So cool.
Big bearded warrior. Good evening.
Jackson, welcome, sir. Gen X.
He pointed out
brother.
the elephant in the room right there.
What elephant?
So, right. Bobby B. Good
Bobby
evening.
B. Welcome, brother.
So, yeah, let's talk about that. So, hair gone, no ponytail, beard gone. Literally have no more wild hairs. they're all gone.
No more Encino Man.
That's right. So just kind of time for a change. The other thing, I was tired of hair falling in my face, and
Me too.
I get tired of shooting my AR and getting beard hairs caught in the stock. That's no fun.
Dude, zero foam wrap around the stock right there.
Yeah. There's other ways to combat it, but I just
y'all thought that one spot.
Looks like I have like sporadic hair growth when I do that.
I have alopecia right here.
That's right. That's right. Y'all thought I looked young before. Jesus Christ. Am I old enough to be on this live? That's the question. Everyone else is wondering what else got shaved.
No, it's not made for kids nor ACR.
Right. You got to be this tall. Got to be this tall. Oh my goodness. Who else joined us here? Oh, Bobby Bama. I can't remember if I caught you.
Yeah, you got
there a minute ago.
Grit and Grace.
Grit and Grace.
Welcome, my neighbor.
Howdy. So yeah, a couple things before we really get kicking off here. Apologies for last week. I've been sick for over a week. It's just I've had a collective of problems lately. And with that being said, I really want to take a moment and thank all of you that have reached out, emails or can contact me directly for checking on me. I really appreciate it. I'm feeling better. I got this little bit of a issue with my left foot that I'm trying to figure out. Got a doctor's appointment for that, but I had like the flu, and I'll tell you that wasn't any fun.
Twin, welcome, brother.
Oh, Twin, good evening, sir. But we're on the road to recovery. Been able to get my workouts back in, feeling better. So thank you all for that.
Twin asked, who is the special guest this week? We don't have a special guest this week, per se. The Weather Wizards. The Weather Wizards are our guests this week. And the Fed boys watching my feed.
Right. Right. And Chaz Bono. Right.
Yes.
I've been signing fucking autographs all week. It's been terrible. Yeah. Yeah. That's don't worry. If you can't laugh at yourself, that's all I'm saying. Can't laugh at yourself.
Yep.
Volume 12.
Yes.
Of Whiskey
we are.
Wednesday.
Volume 12. Mama Bear, welcome.
Mama Bear, good evening. So Whiskey Wednesday, again, it's a catchy name. This evening I'm not drinking whiskey. I've kind of taken a hiatus from beer and alcohol for a little bit.
I'm drinking apple juice.
Yeah, I'm there's nothing wrong with me. I just nice break. So I got
after
coffee.
You're sick, it actually helps your system recover. If you don't partake, you're able to regenerate and get back on your feet faster. So totally understandable.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm not quitting, just good healthy break for a while. Plus, the other part of that, just with the working out and stuff, like it was really kind of defeating the purpose. You get some killer workouts in and then drink it away. It's kind of like like wiping before you poop. It just doesn't make sense.
Wiping with the hula hoop, either way.
Right. Ohio Randall. Patriot. Good evening.
Good evening. No, I have a Buckhorn made in the USA black cherry whiskey with natural flavors. It's only like a 65. It's made by the same people that make Sazerac. So it's
okay.
It's a smooth and rich like black cherry flavor to it. It's pretty good.
Nice.
I don't hate it. I like it. It was chilled and it was hot as all get out today. It was like literally I walk out of the air conditioned office from my desk to go out and do any work in the shop, and I spent most of the day out in the shop. It was like walking into soup.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah.
So I wanted something chilled.
Excellent. The topic tonight. We've been discussing this since I don't know, like last weekend. I think, just sometimes they just the topics just come to you, and this week is no different. It's kind of they all tie in together. Let's put it that way. But we are talking natural disasters, weather manipulation, and yeah.
Like if y'all caught episode 60 of the podcast, I released it on Sunday right after I recorded it. I touched into it a little bit, but I only touched into it a little bit because I wanted to talk about it here. But I'm going to do another episode following this live stream on the podcast to get into the stuff that the ogres and the algorithm overlords don't like. That way I can get people's butt cheeks tight.
For sure. So before we get too far along, I do kind of want to give little moment of silence for all those that have been impacted by the flooding. That's really been the biggest thing, and it's not just here in Texas. It's been Iowa and out your way.
PA, it's been New Jersey, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Kansas. It's literally everywhere.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna kind of get into that a little bit.
So if you've been impacted, in some way, shape, or form, family or friends, prayers and thoughts going out to you. That Camp Mystic stuff out there in Central Texas. I can't imagine being a parent. Your kids go off to camp. I don't know any of y'all went to camp as kids. I did. I hated it, but whatever. But I can't imagine that not knowing where your kids are. That's terrible. So yeah, if you have been impacted and you need someone to talk to, please reach out to one of us. We can have an ear to to listen.
And I'm going to say this because I have the connections in the places. If you're looking at making a donation to someplace helping those affected somewhere, make sure that you are donating to Samaritan's Purse. Samaritan's Purse, actually, the proceeds do help them to help the people. I know that gospel. Okay. Not like any kind of ragtag GoFundMe, this, that, or the other that some celebrity sets up or somebody. No, Samaritan's Purse, they do God's work. They prove themselves in WNC to me. And I'm sure Twin would say the same.
Krista just
He's been
popped
flooded
in.
out twice in the past week. Welcome, sister. Good to see you.
So, natural disasters, weather manipulation, another thing that literally just happened maybe 2 hours ago. Not sure if we have that. There's a viewer that has popped in on my lives, I believe Metals and Twins live, that lives up in Alaska. They just had a 7.3 magnitude earthquake out there, which is now has turned into a tsunami warning for the coast, the Aleutian Islands. I'm pretty intimately familiar with that area, as I used to be on patrol up there when I was in the Coast Guard. So
and I have friends in the Air Force up there and Guard up there. So
yeah, it's I mean, I've said it before, and I think I've had little sidebar conversations with folks. Wherever you live, you pick your poison when it comes to Mother Nature, right?
Truly.
I grew up in the Midwest, so I was dealing with snow and ice storms, tornadoes, that crap. I live on the Gulf Coast now. It's hurricanes, tornadoes, which are usually after hurricanes, and then of course the flooding and stuff like that. If you're
welcome,
West
brother.
Coast, you've got TMT. Good evening, sir. If you're West Coast, you got the mudslides, you got the earthquakes, you got the potential volcanoes, right? Yeah, there's a party that no one's ready
everywhere
for.
you live, no, doesn't matter where in the U.S., you have to worry about the mosquitoes.
Yep. Right.
They're everywhere.
Robert Ham talked about feeling tremors there in Western Kentucky. There's that.
Yeah.
What's that? What's that fault line that runs through Arkansas?
I'm visualizing it. It's like literally
kind of the eastern Arkansas.
Goes like northwest to southeast. Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't it? What? Yeah. I'm thinking that one.
My cousin lives down in Tennessee, so
yeah,
she's talked about it.
So
I cannot remember the name.
No, yeah, you can't. And then, kind of tying into the weather manipulation. Well, you know what? Why don't you start? Because we're gonna have a whole bunch of little
guys. I got a lot. Like I said, I was preparing to do this on a podcast, and we were talking about our topic. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna alter it for the YouTubes, since YouTube gets their cheeks tight. So the weather wizards, yeah, they're working overtime. Everything in their paths everywhere, right? I wanted to touch on, where did the weather manipulation concept even begin? Anytime you look into anything, I've been doing this stuff for years, like researching and working on shows and doing stuff for podcasts and interviews and stuff. You always have to look at the origins, because not everybody is up to speed on where this stuff started. And to go back to the very beginning, it's getting its roots during like biblical times, in all honesty, like Old Testament. Like if you look at that, the Apocrypha, the Book of Enoch, all that kind of stuff, the writings, as they're talking in the Apocrypha about the fallen sons, they did their meddling with man and the weather to show man that we are gods, worship us, because we're spiritual entities, worship us. And so they wanted man to worship them, so they did the juju thing. And so, thusly, you had the first iteration of weather wizards. If you're wanting to look through that lens, that's all I can say about that. I mean,
Yeah.
I was talking with some of the boys from the YouTube's guild here, and I said I told them I was called a doomsday prepper, like somebody like derogatory wise, called me a doomsday prepper. I don't lean into this, or I don't do this, or why am I so afraid? Whatever. I'm like, okay, Noah. Noah would have been considered crazy and a doomsday prepper, right? Like every hammer strike, every nail, every board planed and put on that ark. He was doomsday prepper until the water started flowing, and they were like,
Right.
"Oh, my dude was on to something."
Yeah.
So, yeah, it does tie into all of that. But moving forward from then till more current times, remember back in World War One, all the weather during the trench warfare where the water caused how many deaths? You know, you either had infection, there was trench foot, there were guys that were drowning in the trenches during World War One. I remember my grandfather telling me stories about it. And then go fast forward a little bit in World War Two. That's when the actual recorded manipulation began. That we can actually look up on these here interwebs, right? World War Two, combat evolved. They came up out of the trenches a bit, right? But then the weather meddling ramped up. Believe it or not, a lot of people lean into Nam, but it started in World War Two, in all honesty. I
Right.
mean, the big spin on it started in World War Two. They experimented in World War One, but they really started into it in World War Two. Bombers during World War Two were used, I have notes, so I'm actually reading this stuff tonight because it was worth the time to invest to doing this. So bombers were used to experiment with huge contrails over southwest England. Whenever Germany was pushing their way up in there, they started spraying with these contrails and everything to see what the effects would be. You know, not like we don't see that kind of stuff every day here in current time, right? Look up how many lines you're seeing all over the place.
And why you only sometimes see them with different planes? Have you noticed that? Like it's yeah, that noise.
Remember, I'm a nerd when it comes to the birds, and I track the birds, which I'm saying this right now. After this live stream, I'm going to talk to you folks about something, but then I'm going to put the receipts up. Okay. I'm going to post the receipts as a post. So make sure you check out my posts. We caught some stuff happening. We did. We
Yep.
caught some stuff happening. Me and my boys here, me and the Yeehaw boys. Yeah. And I'll talk about it later, but they used bombers in World War II to produce massive contrails to see what would happen over southeast England whenever Germany was pushing that way. They also brought forth FIDO. FIDO stands for Fog Investigation and Dispersal Operation. We all, some of us military guys, we all know the acronyms, how it goes. But FIDO is used to clear fog from airfields. And what they would do is set up big, huge burners and just heat up the area and try and burn off the fog themselves. Kind of like the sun. We always say, the fog will burn off whenever the sun comes up. You ever see that? You ever see that when you're out in the morning camping or anything, or out for a kayak ride? The fog will burn off with the sun. They were trying to do that on the airfields to clear the way for the aircraft. That's where that started coming into into fruition. Um, during Nam, one of the most popular conspiracy theories was born. This campaign was called Operation Popeye. Yeah, this is where they used cloud seeding to try and manipulate the clouds and the storms with silver iodide and dry ice to basically produce more rain. Hey, does that sound familiar, guys? Have we noticed where there's been stuff and then more rain is produced?
Now that's a mystery. Yeah.
We should probably call Scooby Doo.
Right. You're right. Yeah. Yeah. They can go unmask that villain. Oh wait, they're all in Washington. My bad.
I could say so much more.
Right. Right.
Ugh,
Don't worry, your internet's about to shut.
Biting my tongue.
Right. They're sitting there. They're sitting there trying to shut that internet down right now. While you're paused
Right.
there
Welcome,
for a minute.
Justin.
Yep, Justin. Good evening. Demo. Good evening. I believe.
Good evening, Demo.
Oh, I missed that. I know. Moonsprout. Thank you for popping in. New one. I hadn't seen you in there before.
No.
Welcome.
No, for sure. Welcome. Welcome. So.
Hello. Nice, Grace.
General Electric. Y'all know the name, right? Y'all have heard of General Electric. I've actually fired a General Electric before. But they were at the forefront of Operation Popeye. I don't know if anybody realizes that or not. Or Project Popeye, Operation Popeye, whatever. Same thing. Black Project. Messing with the weather. Yeah, and thanks to that conspiracy theory, yeah, it was also with all the research I've done, and I've done a lot of research in the past before I dove in for this stuff, that y'all just talked about World War II, right? Y'all heard of Paperclip? Yeah. Some of the guys that were involved with Paperclip were actually also in the documents for Popeye. So they kind of go hand in hand. Just saying. No need for this stuff.
The pucker powder.
The good old pucker powder to help get them cheeks unclenched a little bit.
Everyone may need it after seeing me shaved.
Dude, imagine if everybody came in, we did a live, and the beard was gone, and I actually had hair.
No, that'd be epic. That'd be epic. You need like the Rastafarian look though. Like you got to go something like over the top.
Mr. Man said,
I don't know if Big Bearded Warrior is still in here. Oh,
lawfully welcome, sir.
Good evening. He has a couple of video or pictures on his post where he's wearing I call it the Billy Ed hat, where it's like
the mullet in the back.
The mullet. I love it.
I was gonna call him Big Bearded Redneck the other day.
Yeah. Big BBR. Right. Sounds like a beer. Lawfully, did I evolve? It's something. I cleaned up the face here a little bit, cleaned up the head. No ponytail, no nothing. Looking a little more like an adult. It was fun. I did it in phases. I didn't tell anybody, right? Because I'm a dick. And so
well, I know, but
I'm shaving it was scissors to get the beard off. I don't know how, it was pretty long. Like it was about down to here. And then, my wife comes in and she comes in and what? And she's like, okay. So I left the mustache. So I had like the porn stash going and I went downstairs and my kids are like, you look like a shaved seal. Like, I was like, that's a new one. And then I shaved the mustache And then, you know, the next day, and then the next day I went and cut my hair. My hairstylist was pissed. Oh, she was pissed. She's like, and this is a direct quote. She's like, "We've been growing this hair for how long?" Like, what? We?
We?
Oh. And
Are you French?
Yeah, right. So
we.
So it was quite the shock. No, of course I've been out. No one at my work has seen me yet. It'll be great. Like sitting in my office, like someone's gonna come in. Again, another pet peeve of mine. My door's closed. They're gonna knock and open the door, and I can't wait for them to have that fucking much deserved heart attack when they see me. So, yeah.
Right.
Back to the weather. Maybe the weather caused this.
We actually, like, I was sending him pictures. I did a few years ago. My wife had an 80s theme party at her work. And so I was like, I'm going as Magnum PI. For some reason, I thought my bald ass was going to be able to pull off Magnum PI. I got the Detroit hat. I had the Hawaiian shirt. I had the Hoochie Daddy shorts. Like, I'm like, I have to get rid of the beard, though, to be, like, more accurate, right? So I did it. I shaved off the beard and I had a stash. He's seen the picture.
Yeah. It's something.
I had to, fun fact, my driver's license had expired. It was going to expire, so I had to get a new picture and everything. So for the next, next year and a half, 2 years maybe? I don't know. Terrible. Can't remember when. But I have to carry that picture of me with the freaking mustache. Yeah. As soon as I like walked out, I like did it in stages. Like I had like the Wolverine, then I got rid of the, I did like all the stuff and I just won't go back to that. I have to have the beard. The kids were like, put it back.
Right. Mine are saying the same thing. My whole family. Put it back. Yeah, they got to get some scruff or something. It's
right.
It's challenging to maintain it yourself. I will say that. Like I think if you're trying to style like your beard in some type of way, there's so much you can do at the house. I'm not trying to get anyone to spend money, but if you want it to look right, you probably need to go to someone that can look at you rather than you doing some shit in the mirror.
Like I have the like thing you put around your neck that's like the cape that like suction cups to the mirror for trimming up and all that. I got the lighted shit, whatever. My wife has a friend she has a salon, and her husband has like a beard down to here, and it's like perfect, like always. I'm like, Bill, dude, how do you get your beard so straight? Because like my beard is like, I have like a Brett Kiesel beard.
Yeah.
But if I like would like take the girl straightener and I straighten it out, it's like probably like another inch.
Mm-hmm.
I said, Bill, like, how do you get it so straight? And he's like, oh, I dry it. I make sure BS. I tried drying my freaking beard and it did not work.
Yeah.
It didn't. Like, I'll stand there with a hair dryer and try and brush it, and I ain't doing all that with it. I ain't no chick. Sorry, ladies. I ain't no chick. I ain't straightening my beard. It's going to be Viking metal the whole way. Hooah.
Glory just joined us.
Welcome, Glory.
Good evening, sir. Yep. No beard, no ponytail.
I flat irons.
Yeah.
They don't work.
So the topic.
Goes right back.
Right. Yeah. Mine was the same. Like, I did all the different beard oils and stuff, and I'm not knocking it. It's just like you said, ladies, a little tip of the hat to you. It's a whole lot of work dealing with long hair, and whether it's up here or down here, it's maintenance. So
I used to have long hair. I used to have longer hair than he did.
Wow. Y'all haven't seen
my hair was like down to here. And I had it shaved like he did around the sides and down the back. And nope. U.S. Army said, nope, that's going away, boy.
2020, I looked like Fat Jesus, actually. You should find those pictures and send them to you someday. Right?
Jesus is your buddy.
Right? It looked like I belonged in a bowling alley with the Big Lebowski. you know?
Right.
Hey, man. The
But no,
weather.
back to the weather thing. So we were talking about General Electric being all up in the business of Operation Popeye. Well, with that, their wanted results, what they were looking for with this was to spur up more monsoons to flood the tunnels of the Viet Cong. And, well, ask any non vet. How much did it rain? A lot. A lot. It was constantly like swampfoot heaven. So, all of this manipulation of the weather has evolved and continued and progressed and so on into the weather wizards, as I call them, we see destroying everything today. Now it's high tech. It's not so much low tech with silver iodide and dry ice particles being put into the air. It's a lot more advanced. You got anything you want to throw in there with that?
No, just so we were talking just before we got started here during technical difficulties. It's funny how we can take something that could inherently be good and help people, such as cloud seeding, right? Take an area that doesn't see much rain or that's experiencing a drought, and help the area not experience that. Like, again, like this isn't something new. It's going on. It's happening right now. But then, someone, anything good, someone can turn it evil and do some dumb shit. And again, you think about it from a military aspect, from a combat aspect. If you can make the environment terrible for your enemy, I'm telling. We always joke around. If it's not raining, you're not training, right? Like you do it, but I'm telling you, ask some of those guys from Vietnam about monsoon season. Like it fucking sucked being wet all the time.
Yeah.
Right. And so if you can control the wind, if you can control the temperature, the rain, all this other stuff, you're taking something to help farmers maintain their crops to, hey, let's do some evil shit. And you can't put it past any government to not be like, well, hey, and then let's test that out on our people. Right. Let's test it,
We're free subjects. We're the subjects of the overlords. We can fuck with them all they want. Ha 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 ha.
The other part of that is again the health risks, right? Like if again, like Metal was saying back in the day, that the silver iodide was the main component to that. I still think it is. I think that's still a main component to that. And again, you think like, oh, well, like you have silver wound gel. Yeah, I'm sure. Yes, that does work. I've used it on my wounds, on my hands.
Silver.
Yeah. But, I don't know how much of that particulate you should be breathing in, or on your food or whatever. So it's one of those, and the health risks of what's happened just with generalized flooding, damage to people's homes, and then people get swept away. I mean, it's a flash flood for a reason. Like, I don't care how good of a swimmer you are. You're not out swimming flash flood waters. It's just not happening. Like you're done. Like, I'm sorry. Like if you jump in that shit and you don't have someone there with a rope to pull you out, they'll find your body downriver. Like, and I'm not trying to be cold, but that's just what it is. And then all the filth, flooring and filth that's in there, do that in a town where there's sewers and shit, literally. Like, now you get all the stuff, put it in an area like where I'm at. Now you add gators and snakes. There's a party. Shit, gators and snakes.
There was a guy that was saying that he got bit by he was attacked by a shark on Main Street or some shit. Like sharks? In the floodwaters, like sharks got that far inland because of the flooding. They were able to swim in it and pacow.
bull sharks can swim in brackish water, and if it's coastal, like yeah, they can get up there. I mean, I'm not trying to make this sound like a shitty B Sharknado movie
Sharknado.
or Under Paris or whatever it is, but like yeah, like they can they can swim in that shit.
Yes,
You
they
know,
can.
I'm not saying it's gonna always happen, but it's definitely a possibility. All things show. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Um, I wonder if we missed Randall from Randall's Little Adventures if he's popped in yet.
I'm gonna
Um,
send through it. I'll
but
look through
no,
while you're talking.
it's that's with I don't know how much you wanted to go into on the cloud seeding because I'm telling you right now, Demo Man Don was talking about it like, oh, you're giving us homework. Well, these are supposed to be thought provoking, get you all thinking. It's not to scare you.
This always gives you homework.
Yeah, this isn't supposed to be a fear mongering thing. I don't believe in that. That's not what either one of us feel. People should
If you're preparing, you should do homework to prepare.
Yeah. Yeah.
But continue, man. I just wanted to
no. That was it. Like
saying.
the cloud seeding, like I'm telling you, like you just literally Google that and we'll talk to you in 4 hours after you
for real
after you've gone into every little bit there. The next one I wanted to talk about, which I found interesting, and it's not new. Who's all heard of HARP?
That's actually what I had on deck next too.
Yeah. So that's been around quite a while. I want to say early 90s.
Yeah.
Maybe mid 90s. Yeah. It's a
94, I believe.
It's a field of antennas in Alaska. I think it's Gaston, if I'm not mistaken, is the name of the town. And it's sending. So it's actually, I believe, it's kind of overseen by the Air Force, if I'm not mistaken. That sounds about right. NASA. Well, yeah, but DOD's got to get their hands in everything too.
They are involved. They are involved.
Allegedly, that project is shutting down. I don't believe it for a bit, but essentially, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think Lawfully and TMT actually talked about HARP not too long ago on one of their lives too. Again, a bunch of antennas sending radio waves and moving shit. There are rumors that Hurricane Katrina and Rita were both redirected by elements of HARP. Well, I'm not trying to throw bullshit out there, but it wouldn't surprise me. You had Katrina really impact New Orleans pretty hard. And then you had Rita, which was coming in to hit Houston pretty hard, which would have been devastating. And then somehow it just kind of changed directions and literally went just east of Sabine Pass. Still jacked a bunch of shit up. I talk about the oil refinery industries and stuff like that. But as far as populace, it did hit a less populated area. I mean, again, horrible for all those impacted, because that came through and just went straight north. And there were people from Texas to Arkansas to Tennessee to the Carolinas to New Jersey that caught that shit,
Oh, yeah.
DJ the Metalhead Mercenary, welcome.
DJ, welcome, brother.
Lawfully says University of Alaska runs it now. Interesting.
Yes. They received a grant a couple years back, and they had proposed to take over the HARP facility when they were going to decommission it. So it's in like a transition phase. So we're paying for it, for University of Alaska to take over it.
We're all paying for it.
And that's in HARP system. That's one of the more modern ones that is used. HARP For those who don't know, it stands for High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. And its alleged research facility studies the ionosphere and how to use powerful high frequency radio waves to with their transmitters to affect the ionosphere and what they can get to bounce off. Anybody into comms and radio, you know about HF bouncing off the ionosphere. Similar principle, but way more powerful than what your little, you know, desktop radio unit's going to do. HARP has been shrouded with a lot of mystery since every time there is an experiment and they're fire up HARP, there's always wacky weather stuff going on. Now, to be clear, there are actually mobile versions of HARP. They're not as big and powerful to broadcast over as big of an area, but they still get the job done. Now, they have been installed on vessels at sea as well as adapted to be installed as electronic suites on airplanes. I can confirm. Now, there's been tons of focus on chemtrails and the aspects of planes leaving streams behind them as they're flying and going to the point that states are actually banning planes from being able to do that. The different states that have banned it, their air traffic control is supposed to monitor those planes, and if somebody reports, they're to go after them allegedly. Is that probably going to happen? We don't have a DOJ, so why would it?
Randall's Little Adventures. Good evening, sir.
I was waiting for that guy.
Better late than never.
Right. It's okay. We were late,
Mm-hmm.
but there's good reason.
We were.
A good reason.
I should almost
It's
sent
okay.
you a message, Randall. Almost.
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 It was about that close.
Didn't want to look like a creeper any more than I already do.
You guys want to go down to my basement and see who can swallow the most Tylenol PMs?
Yeah, so yeah, I've already been told I can't be near any child cares, schools, and my dreams of buying an ice cream truck right now had to be put on hold. So,
and I told him I wanted to buy a couple AKs and some Uzis off of him. But
that's right. Yeah, that was because I think I was wearing like a sweatsuit or something, wasn't
it? Yeah, you were looking like an arms dealer
right.
on the back of a black van in an alley on like 5th and 9th Main or something. 5th and
we were gonna change the show to Catch a Predator.
Right. He's right there.
He's right there.
Wait a
minute. You remember that show? Get all these like early internet. Get all these creepers sitting there wanting to talk to little kids, and they show up at the house, and little kid will be like, "Oh, let me get you something to drink." They walk right back, and then
I'm Chris Wallace with ABC.
Right. And they're looking for the exit, and there's fucking cops everywhere. It's like, gotcha, bitch.
Right. That's awesome.
So DJ the Metalhead Mercenary wants a quick recap on what happened here. So I had a wild hair. I don't have any wild hairs anymore. It wasn't nothing sparked this. I just shaved my beard and cut my hair, and now the agency is looking for a totally different guy. No, yeah. I just time for a change. That's it. Every once in a while,
looking for some dude named Johnny Depp.
Right. Exactly. I look like the less drug addicted version of the second Trump attempt, Merc.
Oh, that's awesome. But no, with the weather and all that stuff, at first the little G, y'all know who I mean by the little G if you're listening to the podcast. Government. They tried to cover everything up. They really did. They did their best, and they're good triers. They're good triers. I mean, look at current times and what's going on. There is no Epstein list. There is an Epstein list. He's terrible. I'm going to release it day one. No, it's sitting on my desk. There's so much to go through. No, it's total conspiracy. It's a scam made up by Hillary and the Obamas and the Bidens. To why are they still talking about it? Anybody who is into that is stupid. Like, they're good triers, right? We're not here to talk about that stuff tonight. I'll talk about that on the other thread. That's
Right.
all getting them tight cheeks. But they did their best to try and cover it up, and they used the science community to just completely dispel the notion. Wait a minute. That sound familiar? That sound familiar? Like we've seen that in recent years? It's a skosh.
Hey, Susie Q. Good evening.
Yeah, it got to the point where they actually had to spill the beans to the public. And then they started running damage control and making up excuses and reasonings and saying, oh, it's good we're doing this because we want to be able to help people in drought areas and help them and blah, blah, blah. And like the people that get like flooded and stuff, we want to try and dry it up there. Yeah, they do that too, where they dry things up places as well. But I'm not going to really get into that portion of it tonight because we'd be here for another 4.5 hours. But when they run that damage control, if you pay attention to the media cycles, they always have some kind of false flag of some sort. A Sandy Hook, a Columbine, something like that to get your attention on that instead of that, instead of this. Learn the difference between signal and noise. That's all I'm saying. But they got to do that kind of stuff post haste. So that way you memory hole it and you forget all about it, right? But we've kind of gotten to the point with the interwebs and our connectivity and how we talk. I'm here in PA. He's sitting in Texas. You guys are all over the country. And on my podcast, I have people all over the world that tune in. And we can connect rather quickly and easily and discuss things and share things now. So it kind of backfired on them in that aspect of things. But now they have to admit to it. And basically all they're doing is saying, sucks to be you. And they just continue doing it with no, 0.9, none, no accountability. Right?
Yeah. Lot of good comments in here. Just so that's me looking down and keeping up with the comments, because I that's one thing I love about when we do these lives, the little sidebars and comments that go around. Great stuff. Robert's right on point there. How stupid do they think we really are?
They think we're very stupid.
They do.
They don't realize.
They don't care. They don't care. I mean, he was also talking about, the manipulation of hurricanes, again, trying it on our own people. Like, I mean, I've said it before, and I'm trying not to go down this other rabbit hole. It's the elitists and everybody else. And sadly, there's a whole lot of dumb fucks that think they are in the elitist category until some bullshit goes down, and then they're just regular folk.
Yeah. Everybody wants to be gangsta until it's time to do gangsta shit.
Right. Like you think you're on this pedestal above everyone else, but you didn't realize there's about 16 more pegs above you. So again, let's distract us with all this other stuff. Hey, let's find a reason to be angry at this group of people or do this or whatever. And let's continue with the fuckery of our own people, because again, they don't care. This isn't a political side battle either. Like none of them care. It's kind of like professional wrestling. It's all, it's all, it's all. Oh, I don't like him, and then there's chairs on the back and everything, and then as soon as the curtain goes down, everyone's
They're
drinking
grabbing a beer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Daytime
laughing at
TV
our
drama.
asses. Yeah,
It's Days of Our Lives, but I like to call it As the Stomach Churns.
Yeah. So, yeah, don't think for one second they have an issue with doing stuff to us. You know, yeah.
I mean, the Golden Dawn has come out today and said that anybody who believes anything with the Epstein stuff's absolutely stupid. You had Pelosi here a couple years ago saying we're the degenerates or whatever, and we get fed by them. They feed us the crumbs. We mean nothing. They've openly said it many times over. That's just two examples.
Feinstein was another one. Yeah. How much did she hate vets? We're all damaged. Well, I mean, we are damaged.
We are, but in a different way, and it's in a different way.
So they don't care. I know we just named a couple on the left. Trust me, there's plenty on the right. They don't
believe me.
They don't care. But that's a topic for another day where I will probably be drinking.
That is a topic for another day where you guys can tune in to the Tin Man TNA podcast on Spotify, and you can hear us go off about that. Yeah. Okay. We'll save that for there because that's safe over there to talk about that.
Right. What else do you have? You because you had way more notes than I did.
Okay, so we were talking about how they're just openly saying that they're doing this cloud seeding and they're doing weather manipulation stuff, right? On Sean Ryan's show, it's here on YouTube, it's on Spotify, anywhere you can pick up a podcast because he's a mainstream podcaster. He had that mullet douchebag on there recently, where he admitted to cloud seeding in Texas, specifically pre-flood, the first round, right? Now, he was on the show and he backpedaled and had many excuses to avoid the blame for the flooding. He's like, and I quote, "We only seeded 2 clouds there, but it wasn't rainmakers that was associated with the flooding happening. We were going to a drought area to help them get more rain for the crops due to it being later in the season." Kind of deal, right? I'm paraphrasing a bit, but quoting him yet. I watched the episode. Didn't enjoy it. As same as I didn't enjoy the Gavin Newsom episode because I wanted to reach through my digital device and just choke the ever living crap out of Beavis. Dude looks like freaking Beavis. But dude goes on that show and he's literally bragging about how easy it is to do this, how good they are at what they do, and how their company is like echelons above and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, Rainmakers is
elitists. Did you say that? They're elitists. Oh,
literally.
Funny. Yeah.
His company's called Rainmakers, for crying out loud. Yeah, that's literally the company's name. But they had nothing to do with it. They're so good at what they do and da 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 da. And they're bird watchers like me out there that literally saw the planes doing what they do. I was like, literally patterning, following the way the floods went. If you cloud seed up here and there's bodies of water that flow this direction, you cloud seed up here, that flood going to go bloof, right? Yeah. But it had nothing to do with it. I'd also like to point out that this kid, they're trying to say his company is ran by Peter Thiel, which it is not. Peter Thiel is the same dude with the Palantir AI crap. It's one of the elitists. Yeah. Mossad, Israel ties, just throwing that out there, by the way. Just, for pure entertainment purposes only, of course. But Peter Thiel is not involved with Rainmakers per se. Peter Thiel actually helped him fund that Augustus dude, the mullet kid. Yeah, he helped him fund Rainmakers to get it off the ground and going. So Peter Thiel is tied to it, but he does not run Rainmakers, to be honest and fair. There's going to be all kinds of talk of, oh, he's in charge of it. No, literally, I looked up the business and he helped to fund in the startup phase. We have got to a point here with all of this that Magic the Gathering, or Marjorie Taylor Greene, whatever you want to call her, she has called this full out. And she has proposed what is called the Clear Skies Act that bans geoengineering and weather manipulation and modification throughout the United States. And now that she's done that and has publicly said it on Twix, those of you that don't know, I call it Twix. It's not Twitter, it's not X, it's Twix.
Twix.
And you have a right Twix and you have a left Twix. Just the same as the app. But since she's done that, this Augustus Dorico, what a douchebag name. Like, I would have put him in a trash can in freaking middle school or something.
Right. Swirlies for sure.
For real. But he's now going and playing the PR game. He's going on every right-leaning podcast he possibly can and talking about how what they do is such a good thing. But then if you know what you're doing, you go into these plane tracking apps and stuff, and it's public information, have to transpond when you're flying, right? Have to file an FAA flight log. Same reason I found the Golden Dawn on the Express. And some others too. But you can actually track these planes and see their flight patterns, where they're at. And then wait. Not like the panty gnomes from South Park where you steal panties, profit. No, you just wait and then you see what they do. It's like he's gone on. It's not bad. It's been used for decades. Like, we've been cloud seeding for forever. Like, it's not a big deal. He just plays it off. So the little shitbird wants to meet with Marjorie Taylor Greene and speak in front of Congress as to how great all of what cloud seeding does and weather manipulation does. So let's see how that absolutely goes nowhere. If anything, they're going to throw it up on TV. They're going to say, oh, look, this is happening. Blah, 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 blah. Look, another UAP. Look, they found a gigantic version of Earth and it's sending out strange signals. They're going to throw something up there just to get people like, oh my.
Right.
To get away from the actual root of this.
Right.
Because, you know, it's going to provide the masses their precious theater. Have to have my theater.
Yeah, Krista nailed it there. May have been doing it for decades, but perfected it over the last 5 years. Right?
Truth.
It's yeah, we're also, and I know DJ the Metalhead Mercenary was talking about a little bit too with that cloud seeding. You know, we were talking about it before we came on here. You're not going to see it when it's happening, because for it to be as highly effective, you've got to do it while that rain cloud is actually raining. And so one of the only ways you're really going to be able to track that is through, like you said, the flight records and flight paths before they're deleted or erased or lost or whatever, you know. So
I have personally seen and tracked a plane that whenever I pull up its tail number and I look back through the history, the plane switches, the tail number switches to a UPS cargo or a FedEx cargo or a commercial aircraft. And then I go to the next day previous to that and it switches back. So today we're sitting 716. If I went back and I was looking at this specific 123 bird, okay, and I went back to say 714, okay, and I was looking at this bird. Well, then I go to 713 and it pops up as a UPS cargo plane. What? I go to 712 and it's back to the regular bird, but then I go back to 713 again just to see if it was a glitch. No, it's still showing up as a UPS cargo bird that day. How?
Right.
And I'm just using that for example, UPS cargo bird. I have seen it personally. I have screenshots on my phone of it from years gone by, but that's just an example for quick here. They play with things. So the bird watchers, we have to be on our game to pick up that data right then. As soon as the flight has left and landed, boom, that's our opportunity.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not ignoring you. Just a lot of cheers in the crowd there. Again, I'm drinking Gatorade, the Costco brand Gatorade tonight after having a cup of coffee. I wanted another cup of coffee, but I also want to sleep tonight.
So. I'm drinking literal apple juice.
Yeah, and
and
DJ
water. Staying hydrated.
DJ the Metalhead Mercenary talking about weather's already getting more severe naturally. I mean, just think about the last couple of years, all the wildness of the tornadoes that have hit. I think it was Tennessee and Kentucky, and I mean, you got Tornado Alley and Oklahoma that always gets hit, but the hurricanes, like, I mean, there's something already stirring up in the Gulf right now, and we're going to see what happens with that. And again, I love the hurricane prediction maps that they put out every year, where they let all the kindergartners go out there with crayons and draw some shit. Like, oh, it could look, yeah. Thanks for the hot tip. What other job can you do where you can make a shit ton of money and be wrong a lot and not get fired? Meteorologist.
I have a friend that's a meteorologist.
He fucking hates me.
No, he left all that. He is now a realtor because he works on his own time because his daughter was born. He wanted to be able to spend time with her. So, and help raise her and so on and so forth. But he was a meteorologist and he was like, look, he's like, we look at the data, we go, it kind of looks like it's going to do this. So we're going to go with this. But if it changes or it doesn't look like that, we update it real time to say, oh yeah, it go rain. Literally.
What's that guy's name?
Ollie Williams.
That's it. That's it.
And now Ollie Williams with the Blackie weather forecast. Ollie,
right.
It go rain.
Go rain.
Thanks, Ollie.
That's right. Like that, there was a comedian, I think it was Lewis Black, talking about the easiest job in the world is to be a meteorologist in San Diego. Like, so Andrew, what's the weather going to be like today? Nice. Back to you, Metal.
Right.
Bobby B's checking out. Good evening, sir. Thanks for stopping in. Always a pleasure having you. Thank you. That's pretty good, Randall.
Yeah.
He can either be sober or he can't be around schools. That's good.
You can't have one without the other.
Right. And I didn't quit, just taking a break for a little while. And I don't have a problem or anything. I'm not in any meetings. Not knocking anyone that has to go to those. I'm just saying.
He's not a quitter.
Yeah. Just taking a bit of a break.
Take a healthy break.
Yeah. So,
but Nebraska and Kansas. Yeah, they got some special treatment here recently too. Yeah,
Yeah.
here on 7/15 yesterday. Yeah, but I bet you guys weren't aware that they had a very important harbinger ahead of time on 7/14. Mm, yeah, yeah. I caught that bird. I caught that bird. Yeah. There there's been nasty flooding all over the US anymore. And well, this time my local yeehaws and I, yeah, we caught one of them little suckers. Yeah, we caught him. We personally caught him. To be fair, we caught the QC of the operation, the quality control. I think that's what I'm calling it, as the QC. Um, we found a U.S. military W-135 flying patterns over Nebraska the afternoon before the flooding. Now, so you understand why I say that it's a QC versus the one spraying. The W-135 is an air sampling plane. So normally they would be used to sniff for chemical or bioagents in the air and atmosphere. Okay.
Hey, Pat Riot. Good evening. Thanks for
Pat,
popping in,
welcome,
sir.
sir. Now, if you guys want, tell me in the chat here. I can break down the rest of those recon birds if you want me to. I have that knowledge base and I have that ready to go if you guys want me to break down the rest of those environmental recon birds and their cousins in that category. So let me know if you guys want me to break that down. I'll wait for it to catch up. I'm patient.
Right.
I'm just autistic enough that I can do it.
As it is, like you said, everyone's going to have a ton of homework after the end of the night. They're going to be down those same rabbit holes we've been down. And again, while we're waiting, be sure to go check out Tin Man TNA podcast on Spotify. It's fantastic. Got 60 episodes on there right now. I'm currently listening to 59 so that I can catch up and listen to 60 because I have a feeling 60 is, well, they're all awesome, but then I want to be ready to catch 61 when it drops. So please go check that out. He has a great following on there as well. It's great stuff, good and juicy, and
It's spicy.
spicy. There we go. Kind of
spicy.
because you know how YouTube can be. You know, like, that I'm sure they'll throttle this back because we might have hurt some people's asses with with the
I got it. I got it.
Yeah,
Tin Man brand pucker powder right here.
ready to go.
Okay. So Robert, Demo Man, and Grit and Grace want to know the rest of the planes in the ensemble.
The inquiring minds.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad I can help you with this.
Yep. And Grace just dropped your Spotify. Thank you, Grace.
Muchas gracias, señora. So I talked about the W-135. The W-135 is the air sampling bird, sampling for bioagents, chemical agents within the air, in the atmosphere. Now, there is its brother, the R-135. The R-135 is basically, the easiest way I can put it is an electronics spy bird. The electronics suite on that bird allows it to track an object the size of a soccer ball from up to close to 300 miles away, 250 to 300 miles away, depending on the atmospheric conditions and the altitudes and the topography on the land. So it can track an object the size of a soccer ball from that far away, aka one of these. Smartwatches are still not yet able to be tracked that way, but they can hit into your phones, your laptops, your GPS in your vehicle. They can track that kind of stuff. Then you have its brother, the C-135. Now, the C-135 has a little bit different aspect to it. The C-135 is a rad sniffer. It sniffs for radiological agents in the atmosphere. So if somebody does testing in an area, if Rocket Man over Lil Kim decides he's going to do something, you better guarantee that out of Japan that they're going to be flying a C-135 to kind of sniff the area and see what's up. They will fly weird patterns into wind currents, across wind currents. They look for wind currents to pick up. Then you have their cousin, like the W, the R, and the C are all very close. You have the K-35R, which is a cousin. It is a plane that does refueling. It is pound for pound right now the number one air refueler used in the US military. You will also see DC 10s and 762 Pegasus up there refueling too. But the K-35R is the number one refueler. The K-35R can also be used for troops and for equipment. Smaller equipment, but supplies, sustainment kind of stuff. Then you have a special hybrid sister that is the WC 135. And it kind of does just about a little bit of all of that. It is like the hybrid of that family. So that's what that entire family of planes do. So when you see those model numbers, those plane numbers come up, designations of R135, C135, W135, WC, K35R, you know what they're doing. They're all, it's the base model of that plane is the K35. But then they upfit it with the electronic suite and the tech to be able to do this other stuff. Kind of the same as they do with the HARP stuff via planes. They outfit them with an electronic suite and all the stuff they need, and they can even do it on a smaller scale. I've talked about the B350s and the B320s. Those planes do the same thing as the R135, but on a smaller scale, and they can fly a lot lower. Listen to episode 60. I just had a freaking C-130 fly over my house with 3 V-22 Ospreys escorting it. He was flying at about 4,300 feet, what I picked up. But I could see him plain as day. I just literally looked. I'm like, yeah, 3 V-22 Ospreys and a freaking C-130. Look on my app. Oh, yeah, look what I got. These guys aren't flying that low. The BE-320s and the BE-350s, those guys can fly a lot lower that you'll just think it's just a regular grandpappy out flying with his grandkid or something. So that is the breakdown of that family of aircraft.
Mainly off grid. Good evening. Thanks for joining
welcome,
us.
Brother.
Tail end anyhow here. Ha, tail end. Get it?
Tail number.
All right.
Talking about planes.
Yeah, that was good. So, do you have anything else on your notes for the evening?
I got about a little bit left. A little bit left. A little bit left.
Yeah. Okay.
So, planes flew over spreading their love. And then the military had come in to make sure it was just the magical amount. So then we saw flooding. I don't know if TMT's still here or not, but maybe he could talk to it about, out in his AO, what was going on with their type of flooding. I know we've seen it here a couple times already this year, but we've also had the lattice work in the skies. Literally right before we had that same kind of thing. We're getting more severe storm warnings. We're getting more flash flood warnings. We're getting more of this stuff than we have ever gotten in any summer. And they say, well, how can you track that, Metal? I've lived here for my whole life. Well, minus the 10 years that I lived out and I was Krista's neighbor instead of Grit and Grace's. But I've seen things growing up. You've seen things in the areas you've grown up, right? Remember, and we're basically about the same age. Like, we used to be out riding bikes and doing mini hood rat shit back in the day. And we were outside playing all summer. Occasionally, we'd have a rain day where we were smashing buttons on Nintendo or Atari. But
Atari. There we go.
2600 baby asteroids all day.
Coleco.
Right, ColecoVision. Oh my gosh. We're redoing the home theater here, and I am setting up a multi-port switch to be able to hook up all that stuff. And I want to get all the retro gaming hooked up to the home theater. And I sent him pictures of our new bar.
Yeah.
And like we redid it, and I love it. I love it. So I'm like, I really want to get a freaking Coleco. I really want to get an Atari 2600. And
but they make this box. They've made them in the past where like literally it's this thing you plug in and you can buy the different controllers for whichever one, and they have like 1,000 damn games on there. Because I mean, how much memory did Pac-Man and Space Invaders and Pong take up, compared to one PS5 game right now, right? That you got a half a terabyte of data for
right?
for one game.
Like I got the wife a little Sega Genesis. Literally, it's like the size of my cell phone, and it has like 100 and some games on it.
Yeah,
it's incredible. But yes, I do follow Monkey Works. I have been following him for many years since he first started. I was one of his first subscribers. And I do the same thing, but the only difference between him and I is he's been doing it a long time, and he has that new fandangled sky glass that also tracks weather patterns and TFRs and all that kind of stuff. Whereas I just use like ADSB, Flight Radar, and a couple others to compile what I do. But I do the same thing as him, just on a smaller scale. He can literally go click and pull up an entire like watch list of specific types of planes, like say heavy lifts, like C-130, C-15, C-5Ms, C-17s, whatever. The big heavy lifts, even if it's like the big Airbuses from like Europe and stuff, he has that all compiled into a list, one click, and poof, they're all on screen. I don't have to. I don't have that luxury. I have to literally take a tablet and write down tail numbers as I find them. And then I have to individually search them and track their history and stuff. It's a lot longer and harder for me. He can just go, yeah, I want all of these guys.
And Johnny Depp knows about the longer and harder. Had to throw that in.
Yeah. Literally throw it in.
Throw it in.
But yes, I am a Monkey Works follower. I am part of Monkey Nation. Not just a follower, but I am part of Monkey Nation. I have tracked stuff for Risky Krisky before. There were different flights going on a few years ago, and he reached out, hey, what can you do, brother? And I did my thing. So he's posted up some of the screenshots from me on his socials before from tracking flights for him.
Hell yeah.
So my thing I want to come to here in kind of closing with this. Some people are out there saying, oh, well, we're just getting more rain. It's just, it's just what it is. There's other people like climate change. Put ice cubes in a glass of water. Watch the level. Take a dry erase and mark the level of where it's at. Wait till those ice cubes melt. See where the level is when the ice cubes melt and it's just water in there. Displacement. Kind of a basic thing. But people don't think about that because it's climate change and it's scary, metal. That's Magamel coming out.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the best voices.
I punish that voice, dude. there are listeners out there that email me like, dude, I fucking hate Metal. He's so freaking abrasive and annoying. He sounds like he's chugging the carrot, and I'm like, he is.
He sounds like he would be married to, from Monsters Inc., Roz.
Okay, yeah, I can see
Mike
that.
Wazowski, where are your reports? Like that voice sounds like it would be married to that woman right there, right?
Right. But could these massive storms, the odd weather phenomenon, the flooding, be from the weather manipulation and modification? But for what reason? What are they trying to do? What is their end game in doing this? Talked about earthquakes, volcanoes. I'm seeing all kinds of stuff of volcanoes erupting all over the place, right? Are they manipulating that too? There are sonic weapons. They just came out with like the Leonidas system. They were promoting it using sonic weapons to take out drones. They can fire the Leonidas and take out 50 drones like that. Okay. So if they can do that, what are they doing down below? Makes you wonder.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder.
I always said, no, go ahead and go. I'll talk about.
No, I was just going to say about the earthquakes and like the engineered droughts. It all seems to be a part of this.
When I was out, I used to be stationed in Seattle, and in fact, my first earthquake I went through was out there. They aren't as crazy as they are in California, but I always said, gosh, that would talk about what would be a trifecta of shit is if you had an earthquake go through Puget Sound, right? And then go ahead and tap that ass of Mount Rainier or Mount St. Helens, because Mount St. Helens is building its top back up. Right.
Mount Baker. Chris will tell you, Mount Baker, dude.
So, and again, I'm not a geologist. I don't know if that would actually work, but I'm telling you, like, tectonic plates can do a lot of shit. But so you've got a earthquake, which already causes some damage. You piss off the volcano gods, and now because of the way these plates shifts, now you've got the tsunami right in Puget Sound, which takes out Seattle, Tacoma,
Everett.
all that shit through there. And I mean, and again, it sounds like a Hollywood movie, but I mean, what? There's someone that's smart enough to figure out how to make that shit happen. That's all I'm saying. Like there's someone that I have no doubts that someone can figure out a way to make earthquakes and piss off volcanoes and all that other shit.
Yeah, I mean, if you look into like mining equipment, some of this stuff is actually used in mining equipment. There are sonic drillers.
Fracking.
You will not hear above ground, but is down there just doing their thing.
That fracking causes earthquakes. I mean,
I had a buddy that worked, Mando, he worked on a frack pad for quite a while.
Yeah.
He was like, dude, we'd have fucking tremors all the time.
Yeah. It's wild. I don't know. And again, you pick your poisons wherever you are, but again, kind of circling back to the beginning here. If someone did some horrible shit and a bunch of kids were killed that were out at camp, we should be seeing some fucking bodies hanging. That's all I'm saying.
For real.
That's fucked up. You shouldn't have to, And so the little tip of the hat. I don't know if y'all seen that news report that that Coast Guard helo rescueman that went out there. That's a badass dude right there. I have a good buddy of mine that did that for a long time. He and I were actually roommates out in Washington State, and I think I've told a couple stories about his stuff before. But and it wasn't just the Coast Guard. Trust me, there was National Guard, and there were police, and there were fire, there was Navy and Air Force, and all the people were doing good things to help folks out there, and
absolutely.
And then all the ones that don't really catch any recognition, but have to go deal with cleanup of some terrible stuff too. So
right. So in all of this, what do we do? What do we do? I'm going to get to that in a little bit. When is enough going to be enough? If we are being manipulated, like with our weather and stuff, like when is enough enough? Like there has to be like a stop to this crap. When will it ever be stopped? Because it's actually getting worse. It's progressively getting worse. I mean, is there some type of fucked up lottery that the winner gets flooded or something? Do they sit around and like crank their hogs and like, whoever finishes first wins and they get to like throw a dart at the map or something?
Right. Drawing straws.
Yeah. Like what's going on?
Yeah.
Why? But what do we do about it? Well, I said earlier that I was called a doomsday prepper, and I talked about that. Noah being a doomsday prepper, and he was crazy with every hammer stroke and every freaking nail he drove into the ark. But when the rain started coming and the water started rising, everybody wanted on that boat now, didn't they? Everybody was the third monkey, right? So what do we do about this? Well, as far as getting them to stop, you got me. I mean, I always say the answer to 1984 is 1776, but what do we do? We've talked about it before with water. We had a Whiskey Wednesday where we talked about purification of water and everything water. Well, if you have floods, kind of like what we talked about in the beginning of this live stream, you're going to have to know how to treat water, how to procure water, how to make water safe and potable to drink, to bathe with, to wash with, all of this stuff. You're going to have to learn that aspect of things because after a flood, like he said, all the nasty stuff comes to the surface. Going to be dealing with that, plus everything from the neighboring town that's flown your way. You're going to be scooping up water and it's going to have Mr. Brown's brown in it.
Yeah, Mr. Hanky.
Mr. Hanky, is that you? It's not even Christmas yet.
Howdy ho!
You guys, it's Mr. Hanky. He's here.
But what do we do? If you live in a floodplain, you kind of have a good handle on things of like, this is what we have to do. I live in a freaking mountain. I live on the top of a mountain. It flooded here last month. What do we do? Plan accordingly. Talk to people, community. We have it here, guys. Guys that are folks that are in the affected areas of these floods. Talk to the people in the areas that haven't flooded yet. If you're not in a floodplain, learn what the people in the floodplains do and kind of prepare for that. You might need it, you might not.
Well,
if you need it, you're gonna be damn glad you have it.
And even if you're not in a floodplain, there's a lot of areas that are now in floodplains. Funny how that works. Right.
Like Twin can't catch a freaking break down there in NC.
Right.
He can't.
Right.
Like he sneezes and turns around and poof, it's flooding again.
Yeah. And don't be counting on FEMA to help you. I mean, not that they were any good before, but they've kind of been disbanded in a way. So it really is relying on yourself, relying on your neighbors, relying on your mutual assistance group, getting yourself prepared best you can.
Yeah.
Get a boat.
Dude, that reminds me of Corky Romano.
Yeah.
You ever seen the movie?
A long time ago.
Chris Kattan.
Yeah.
He somehow like trips and falls into a bag of cocaine, and he's like, ah! He goes nuts, and he shows up to like somebody's house. I forget, but it's been a few years. He's like ringing the doorbell incessantly. Like he's like, I'm gonna buy a boat.
You guys want some cookies? You know,
It's
Because that got me thinking about Cocaine Bear. By the way, great
seen it.
movie. If you haven't seen it, that's a funny movie.
like,
Very, very loosely based on actual events. I think the bear lived for like 4 minutes before it had a fucking heart attack. But we got Stell trying to kick in the door like the police. I hear you out there, Stell. And we're creeping up on our 2-hour mark there.
DJ just sent me a meme here. It says watching people fight over psyops and scripted theater played out by installed puppets.
Right.
Isn't that true? And
Right.
it's the picture of Ben Affleck standing there smoking, like,
Yeah. I'm over it. Yeah.
I'm under and over it.
Right. Bit of both.
Yeah.
Bit of both. Yeah, we are creeping up on 8 o'clock my time. I know it's creeping up on 9 o'clock
Yep.
your time.
Quarter to tail. Yep.
And this has been a good way to bring back volume 12 of Whiskey Wednesday. We probably owed y'all a little more time since we missed the other week. But you know, kind of what Metal was saying. Whatever preps you're doing, continue doing them, and just watch the weather. Take care of your loved ones, and yeah.
I will say, just checked into the chat here real quick. Susie Q said something about they want the land. California, the Pacific Palisades fires. They have offered them like literally pennies on the dollar, and they're trying to go through the red tape. I'm just saying red tape for the sake of this platform to take the land from the people in Palisades. A lot of these places that this is happening and there's damage, watch, because there is a lot of Smart City, Section 8, or in the Orange Man's world, he likes to say the Freedom Cities. It's the same thing. It just has a different name. It's a GMC Sierra and a Chevy Silverado. It's the same freaking thing with a different badge on it.
Yeah.
That's what they are doing. Legitimately. She is 100% correct. I didn't put it in my notes, but I read about that today. And I was like, yeah, kind of saw that coming.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of catching up on the notes here too. Gang, always great chat. Y'all, the chat is what makes this. It's fantastic.
You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing.
Always
and
great.
Replay Crew, we love you guys too. Get down in the comments there and Replay Crew us. Let us know you came back and gave us some love. We love you guys too.
Set a reminder on your phone.
The very beginnings of the live streams are always geared towards the Replay Crew, because they always catch something in the beginning that the live chat doesn't get. But the live chat gets something that the Replay Crew doesn't get. And it's beautiful. And it's Wednesday.
Halfway through the week.
You're welcome for that.
Yep.
Made it there. And yeah, we'll be back as far as I can tell, like next week for another Whiskey Wednesday.
Looking forward to
he may have a little bit more on the face, but
you never know. I might a little more of a 5 o'clock shadow there.
And I will still have this beard. I will still have this. I will still not have this.
So, what before we wrap up? What do we see on the forthcoming for TinMan-Metal? Do we have a live this Sunday, or no?
I am going to try to get a live in. we are going down to help our oldest daughter with some stuff. Our second granddaughter will be coming fairly soon in the next few weeks. So we're helping them put furniture together and do stuff. I might be doing some plumbing and electrical work there, but I'm going to try and squeeze in a live. I I've been fighting with myself because I'm like spread so thin. I'm trying to get myself to do a how-to video on the Tin Man rifle wraps as well as the Tin Man pack covers. So there is that.
Awesome.
Trying to get those videos together, but I keep running into, hey, can you help with this? Hey, can you help with that? You know, the dad phone goes off and you can't not answer it.
Right. Right. Excellent. So something to look forward to.
How about ACR? How about ACR?
So
What's going on with
I did put out a video a couple Sundays ago about a bag. I've got a couple other things I'm working on. I need to, being sick for a week and a half, I really couldn't get anything done. Um, I don't know if I'm going to do a live this Friday. However, I was thinking about doing one early Saturday morning, and Demo Man is still in here. I can't remember if it was Demo Man, Don, or Scoot that said,
I haven't seen Scoot in a minute.
I got a text from him not too long ago, about a week or so ago. But if Andrew does an early morning live on a Saturday, I think we'll call it the Morning Wood Live. So Demo, was that you? I can't remember if you came up with that or Scoot, but I know Twin does a live Saturday morning. It would be before his. It'd be a quick coffee with Andrew or Johnny Depp, depending on what's going on. And
What he's putting in his coffee.
Right.
Viagra.
Right. One of those pills. And yeah, so be on the lookout for that. If I do, it'll probably be Saturday. Yeah, I knew it had to be Demo because he's really excited about it. So we'll be looking for that Saturday morning just to chat. No real direction. Who knows? There may be some direction on there. So I am going to do in the chat here how it'll look on there, because YouTube's a fucker. That's going to be the Morning Wood, because damn good and well if I put the other spelling of wood, they'll smack that shit down probably. So
WUD wood.
Right, there we go. UUD wood. So
wood.
Like German, yeah. Is that good, yeah?
German wood.
Well, sir, as always, thank you so much.
You are quite welcome. And one more thing I want to throw out there, a little free chicken for anybody looking. Eberly stock is discontinuing I believe it's called the Destroyer Outlet pack. It's a 70.5 liter rucksack, very similar to what I use in the Marting Top 75 liter. It is a great pack. They're discontinuing it, and it is on a killer sale right now for like $257.
Wow. Okay.
Just want to throw that out there because that's normally like a few hundred more.
Yeah.
So if anybody is looking for it's not a little EDC pack. It's not a 3-day pack. It is a full on ruck sack.
Yeah.
For like $257. And that is a killer deal. If anybody is in need of an actual rucksack that will hold up. Just want to throw that out there while it was on the top of my bald mind brain.
All right.
So I had my technical issues up front, so I didn't cut out during the stream. So thumbs up to that. But Sergeant Major Wifey is still going to call them tomorrow and be like, what the?
Yeah.
Wait a
minute.
So, as always, ACR, thank you for being the bestest MC in the universe.
Thank you, good sir. Check out him wherever he's at.
Check out him. I'm looking at the live chat, and I know you're over towards my microphone. So.
Okay. sometimes when there's three of us on there, it do-si-dos a little bit. So
Right. Especially when I cut out and come back in, they like move me around.
we got everyone trying to be slick with the mayo jokes. All right, I see y'all. When I mail you a box of shit, don't be surprised.
And it's not going to be that good, like
Right, yeah, it's gonna be what I had when I was
Splatter
sick.
patty.
That's right.
splatter patty.
Oh goodness. Well, I hear the family outside doing things,
And I hear
Stella.
rumbling upstairs even through these.
Gang, it's
But you
always a
folks-
pleasure.
Yes. Always a pleasure.
Till next time, y'all have a great rest of your week. And we will catch y'all later. Thanks, everyone.
Metal out.